is how do you find that right person? Four traits that we look for when hiring individuals. And I hope this will help you be successful in your career growth. Number one, enthusiasm, a passion, an ambition in what you do and what you're striving to do. And some of that is why you're here today. And you've succeeded in that aspect. Do you have goals? Do you have a future that you're trying to achieve? Do you have that drive to achieve that success? Many of the interview questions that you may have, what are your two-year accomplishments or goals? What are your 5-year long-term goals? Why do we ask these questions? Because we want to see where you're going. We don't want to hire someone who just wants a job. We want to hire people who have a vision for the future. Because when you work hard towards that vision, in turn, you help our organization. Not only do you help yourself, you help organizations. And are you consistent? Are you consistently able to drive for your goal and continuously keep reaching for higher achievements? Are you confident in what you do? You have to develop that confidence. This is what we look for in interviews. Do you sometimes do things where others don't like doing? Some of the tougher jobs. Think of these things when you have that drive or when you're in front of that interview to display that aspect of your drive and enthusiasm. Number two, customer service. Customer service is extremely important to no matter what organization you happen to come across. Part of that is genuine user empathy. Having the user empathy genuinely. If you can think of somebody who's very important to you, and that important person were to ask you to assist them in a particular project or a task, would you have that genuine empathy to help that person? I grew up in a very traditional background, and I grew up in a situation where you respected your elders, especially your parents. So if my mother were to ask me for some help in something in computers, I would genuinely have empathy for that person and be very patient in supporting that person. In an organization that you get hired in, every person that you help is just as important to that organization because they pay their salary, they pay for their workspace, and an ambient of other aspects. And that person is helping that organization grow just as you are. Positive attitude is part of customer service. Positive attitude no matter what the situation is. Smiling. A genuine smile. It goes a long way. There's a statement that states, you're not fully dressed until you have a smile. And I couldn't agree more. Because a lot of situations that you're going to be in are going to be situations where someone is having a difficulty. And when you come to them with the smiling presence, it goes a long way, especially in difficult situations. Being patient and not being frustrated is part of customer service. This is what we look for when we interview you. And we have questions to identify, are you genuine in that? So be yourself and give genuine responses. Dignity for others is part of customer service. Never take a person's dignity because it is worth everything to them. So when you work with others, make sure you ensure you preserve that person's dignity. This is customer service. Number 3, your technical competency. You have to know what you're doing in the area that you're working in. And in many cases, you won't know every aspect of it, but just knowing the basics. And you're genuinely able to communicate that to the hiring manager. And if you don't know something, you're honest about it. I don't know it, but I can research it. Here are ways that I research it. So technical knowledge in the IT world, things like what operating system does the organization use? KPIs, key performance indicators. Voice over IP, do they use Active Directory, GPOs, VMware, Citrix, MDFs, IDFs, VPN? How do users log in remotely? Maybe daunting at first, however you take time to learn it. As long as you have that goal and strive for your career. What type of CRM does your organization use? CRM, Customer Relations Management Software. SLAs, Service Level Agreements. How fast are you able to resolve issues, problems? Do you breach tickets? SOP, Standard Operating Procedures, documentation. This is all part of the technical aptitude, technical competency. The steps you take towards troubleshooting. Whatever position you're in, how do you troubleshoot something? We're going to ask you and we're going to dissect exactly the way you troubleshoot. Are you wasting time? Or are you able to pinpoint the issue quick? Everyone's aware of CompTIA A+, right? They have specific ways of troubleshooting, identifying the problem, establishing probable cause, question the obvious, test the theory. If it's correct, act upon it and document it. Number 4, the final one. Are you a team player? We like to see if you're a team player or not. And how do we do this? Are you a good fit for the team that you'll be joining? What are your communication skills like? How do you communicate? How will you communicate with our users, our customers, our leaders? How will you communicate in meetings? How do you disagree effectively and respectfully? How do you disagree with your direct reports, with your colleagues, or your managers? These are the areas that we look into to understand how well you'll fit into our organization. And I've hired many people, and I have not hired many people. And that's just the reality. And don't get frustrated if you're not hired. You just keep trying and get better at it.